Hello. As Ashley so rightly introduced me, I'm Dorian Johnson. I am the product marketing manager for Microsemi's mixed signal ICs for space. So I wanted to give you an overview of those mixed signal ICs. We have some exciting developments, a lot of progress since our last space forum of 2 years ago. So wanted to go through that. We have new products that are in production. We have some new products that have been certified with a QML status. So lots to talk about and more products that we're working on developing. So with that being said, let me show you just a glimpse of our portfolio. And I've broken it out here to new products and our custom products. We have quite a few new standard products that we're offering. We've got a new product family, the Space System Manager family, that I'll go into detail on, that offers telemetry and motor control. We also have a high side driver, a diode array product that's in production, and then a few new products that we're looking at. They're in the development stage in definition that I wanted to give you a heads up on. We also have quite a lot of experience in the custom arena. Microsemi goes back over 20 years in having custom experience for space. So again, a lot of the same functions that you see here, we've gained a lot of experience from that custom development and have applied those to our standard products. So listing out just a quick status, and I'm going to go through these. I'll have a slide or a few slides on each of them in this order. We have products in production, and one thing I really want to highlight, this was a tremendous accomplishment, and we're very proud of it. Our very first member of our Space System Manager family, the LX7730, our telemetry controller, is now in production. And what that means is it has completed qual for the most extensive qual requirements for the vQual flow. So we have that qual report available. It's in production now. We also have two products in production, what we call a source driver or a high side driver. It's an 8-channel product, and it does have QML certification. We have the LX7710, which is a 8-pair diode array, also in production with QMLQ NV certification. And then we have some derivative products for space applications, radiation tolerant products that are derived from our legacy SG product line. In qual, we have our second Space System Manager member, and that is the LX7720 motor control IC. So we have first silicon that's been out on that device, and we're working towards the production silicon. I'll give you a status update on that schedule in just a minute. And then two other products that I'll close by telling you just a little bit about. So the Space System Manager family. Let's just go through a brief refresher on what we mean by Space System Manager, what the concept is. The Space System Manager is a special purpose analog mixed signal IC that's used with an FPGA. And what we do, it integrates commonly used functions that are repeated, oftentimes repeated throughout the satellite system. So we integrate that, it's used with an FPGA, and it provides a very high level of integration by focusing on these commonly used functions. And obviously, one of the main goals with our Space System Managers with that high level of integration is to greatly reduce weight, greatly reduce the board space being used, and then also increase your reliability. Our family right now consists of the two products I've talked about. It's the LX7730 telemetry controller, and again, that one, the vFlow qual isn't complete. And then also the 7720 motor control that has sampled, and we're working on the final rev silicon. So this gives a good good pictorial view of just how much reduction we're talking about when we talk about the board space reduction. And what we've done is we were given a card, shown a card that has some of this telemetry control on it that's used in a satellite system. And this shows the various functions on the card. You've got, analog to digital converters, comparators, muxes, some FETs, a driver circuitry. But what this shows within the blue outline here is what all is integrated into our LX7730. And it really is to scale, so it shows, what that all is boiled down to with our Space System Manager. So again, you can see up to 50 to 75% board space reduction with these devices, and much reduced weight and increased reliability. So the first member of our Space System Manager family is the LX7730. This shows just a very basic block diagram of what's included inside the device. So key features that I'll go through here are it has a 64-channel MUX. It offers break before make switching. It has a 13 kilosample per second 12-bit analog to digital converter. It offers 2% precision adjustable current source and a 1% precision 5-volt source. And it has a lot of monitoring, 8 bi-level logic elements, 10-bit DAC. It supports parallel or SPI interfaces. And as with all of our standard products, we typically offer radiation tolerance to specific goals. And for our products, it's 100 K-rad total dose, up to a minimum of 100 K-rad total dose, up to a minimum of 50 K-rad for elders, and our devices are also single event immune. Again, this product has completed Class V requirements for qual. We have that qual report available, and lots of other tools that we have available for evaluating this part that I have a separate slide on, so I'll go through that. And this gives a typical application, just one of many. This is a telemetry tracking and control application that's shown here. So it shows, again, the different elements of the telemetry tracking system. This shows multiple LX7730s within that system. In this case, there's 5, working in conjunction with an FPGA or multiple FPGAs. So that just gives you an idea of this repeated function that we're able to integrate and save lots of save the board space and using multiple discrete or smaller scale integrated circuits. The schedule for the 7730, let me tell you about the availability. So we have samples, that's the LX7730ES. We also have an evaluation board, and I have my next slide or 2 slides will show you a picture of that. And we also have a daughter board available. Those are all available now. We have what we call the EV flow. Again, that's the part that's in production. And then we have an EQ flow product, which will be in production, meaning all the qualification for that Q flow will be complete by the end of June. So that's coming up quickly here. We are submitting all the qual data that we have for the vFlow product to the DLA. So our intent with all of our standard products for space is to get that QML certification. And also, once we have the qual complete for the Q version, we'll be submitting that to the DLA as well. And then those part numbers will convert over to a -V and a -Q. And then this just lists out the various part numbers and the boards. Again, I've kind of already gone through that, so I won't repeat it here. Let me just switch over to, well, actually, I'll just stick with this. I guess it's not the next slide coming up. So we do have a daughter board for the LX7730. And that works in conjunction with our our RTG4 development board. So it allows users to connect into that RTG4 development board and run key, performance indicators and tests on it. And then we also, for the 7730, we have a simpler evaluation board that we offer. And what that is, it comes with a GUI interface that you run off of your laptop. And you can test out some very, basic functions of the 7730 device. I'll show a picture later on after I talk about our next Space System Manager product. So I encourage you to go to the website for the LX7730. On the product page, we have a lot of very useful updated information. Not only do we have a data sheet, but we also have some app notes. We have a white paper. We have the radiation reports. And we also have papers that we presented. We were active at RADx last September, so we have that paper with the results of the radiation testing. So go to that website for some information on that product. The second member of our Space System Manager family is the LX7720, which is a motor control, position sensing, power driver, lots of different references or names, functions that it performs. So again, we have a basic block diagram here showing the product, and key features are it contains 4 half-bridge in-channel MOSFET drivers. It also has 4 floating differential current sensors, and it has a pulse-modulated resolver transformer driver. Also 3 differential resolver sense inputs, and again, bi-level logic inputs. It offers fault detection and again, radiation tolerant to a minimum 100 K-rad total dose and 50 K-rad elders. So as I mentioned, we had first silicon that functioned very well, so we were happy about that. That had limited sampling due to just limited availability, and we're making some revisions to the product. We plan to have production silicon in October to sample. This shows another application that uses the LX7720 motor control. It also shows it using the LX7730 telemetry controller as well. So this is an attitude and orbit control application. So within that, that piece of satellite circuitry, you have a reaction wheel assembly, and within that, you can have multiple LX7730s together with the LX7720, or you can have multiple LX7720s together with the LX7730. It also has a thruster assembly that again offers, the ability to use multiple LX7720s with an LX7730, and then of course an FPGA in there as well. And other DC to DC and discrete components. So the LX7720 motor controller, the availability, it's right behind our telemetry controller. We plan to have the production version samples and the daughter board available in Q4, and actually in October of this year. More specifically. And the Q version product, we plan to complete the qual in Q2 of 2018, so about a year from now. The V-qual will actually complete by the end of 2018. There's a mistake here that says Q1, and that was referencing our fiscal quarter. But calendar quarter, it's by the end of the calendar 2018. Again, we'll be seeking QML certification, and those product numbers will change to the -V and -Q once that certification is given. So going through what's available for the LX7720, and you should be able to get information and preliminary quoting information on this device. We have the ES, which is the engineering samples, and then we have the EQ, which follows the Q flow, and the EV for the V flow, and then we have, again, as with the LX7730, a daughter board available that hooks into the RTG4 development board that allows you to run some testing on the 7720. And as with the 7730, I encourage you to go to the website. We're building a good database of information and documents on this website. So we have a product brief as well as the full product specification, a schedule of availability, and also a white paper that was delivered last summer related to this chip. So, okay, now for those tools that I wanted to tell you about earlier. So I've just mentioned on the previous slides that we have daughter boards available for use with our RTG4 development kit. So these are pretty nice, and hopefully in these breaks that we've had, or maybe the one upcoming, you'll see the demonstration. So we do have a demonstration with our applications engineer, Kathy Zong. She's demonstrating both of these boards. So here you see the LX7730 daughter board with a granddaughter card attached to it that allows you to just really connect and get different sense inputs and voltage readings from the system. So it connects into the RTG4 development board. And then over here you also see the same thing pretty much. It's a LX7720 daughter board that connects into that same RTG4 development board. So again, this is available now, the 7730 is available now, and then this will be available once we have that production version silicon available in October for the LX7720. For the LX7730, again, we have a simpler, more basic evaluation tool, and that's what we call our evaluation board. And again, that's available now, orderable now, allows you to just, with your own laptop, run some GUI interface and test out some basic functions. Flight heritage. Okay, since these, the LX7730 just went into production, there's no actual in-flight heritage, but what I've shown here, following kind of the same format that we show for our RTG4, is planned heritage. So that's shown across the top row here. You see a few examples. There's a few other satellite programs as well, but here's some of the programs that have designed this in to their systems. And then what I'm showing on the bottom row is what I call historical by similarity. So it's real flight heritage. It's flight heritage that goes back nearly 10 years, and in some cases here. And that is based on a custom product that we've done with similar circuit elements, similar functions, using the same fab processes, same assembly and manufacturing facilities and flows. So very, very similar to our LX7730. So that has proven to be useful to customers considering this device to give an indication of the flight heritage. Okay, let's switch now, and that was a summary of our space system managers. And I just wanted to give you a quick review of what some of the other products we have in production for space are. So we have an 8-channel source driver. It's got a couple names. We've got the AAHS 298B. And also we are creating another ordering number for that to be more in line with some of our other part numbers. That's the LX77998. So same exact part, just 2 different part numbers that you could order it by. It can also be ordered by this 5962 number, so that's shown here. Again, it's got QML certification. So some key features of this source driver, it offers 700 milliamps per output source current, and we use a dielectrically isolated process that offers fully isolated channels. Again, up to a minimum total dose of 100 K-rad immunity and single event immunity. Also elders, we've tested this to elders, so that's not listed here, but that is immune to up to 50 K-rad elders dose rate. It offers an 80-volt minimum output breakdown voltage and has internal ground clamp diodes, internal thermal shutdown. It's compatible for TTL, 5-volt and 12-volt logic. And has proven to be a popular device for satellite applications. This gives some flight heritage. This has been in production for a few years, so we do have some flight heritage on this device. So this shows a couple examples of that. And then oftentimes that 8-channel source driver is used with another device, our LX7710, that's an 8-pair diode array. So again, this is also in production. And shown here is a very simple block diagram showing those two working together and how they're hooked up. It offers a 125-volt minimum breakdown voltage with a 1-amp current-rated diode, and also a 2,800 milliamp combined rating for all the entire circuitry. There is redundancy, so if one diode fails, then you're covered with the diode pair. And you can see some other key features and specs for this device. So also in our standard portfolio, I wanted to just give this quick table to show you or refresh your memory. These aren't state-of-the-art or new products. They've been around for a long time, but are still very much used in the industry today. These parts that I'm showing here were not designed for space. Many of them we have done radiation testing on, or customers have done it themselves, and they have proven to be useful and have radiation tolerance and be able to be used in space. They could be purchased per a custom screening flow that is defined by our customers. But what we did was we took some of the more popular circuits and we actually did make a change to the fabrication process, not to the design, not to the circuitry, but just to the fabrication process that allows them to be radiation tolerant. So we call this our SGR family. And within this, we have 4 devices. We have 2 pulse width modulator controllers and 2 voltage regulators. So we have the SGR 1846, the SGR 1845, the SGR 117, and the SGR 137. So these are tested with the radiation test results available to total dose, elders, and single event. And you can see those levels that we test to here. They're available in both V and Q flows, and if you have any questions, again, they're a process change only, no design change to the original circuit. If you have any questions or needs, you can just contact your sales person, or contact me after this. I'll give you my contact information. So I do want to really point out that we have one area of expertise that we have is our ability to do custom. And a lot of, as I mentioned before, a lot of the standard product development started out with our custom experience and what we've gained with that custom background that we have. So we do offer custom design and production. This shows you a couple examples of some very pretty complex solutions that we've developed, custom solutions for space. Again, we have over 20 years of custom experience in both space and aviation applications with, as I showed on the other slide, over 9 years of flight heritage. And again, these are all designed for challenging operating conditions, primarily radiation exposure. We typically offer cold sparing on all the IOs for redundant applications. We've also done many or several custom ICs that can operate up to extreme temperature or operate in extreme temperature environments. And we always screen to and manufacture to mil-perf requirements. So this is showing, both of these are actually 2-die custom solutions for space in very elaborate packaging. And you can see here there's also some other components within the package, but external to the die surrounding these packages. So lots of experience there. If you're interested, if you do have a need, something that you're repeating oftentimes in your systems, you feel it would be good to integrate into a custom IC for you, please give us a call, and we can talk to you about what goes with that custom development, what the requirements are, and get a feel for what you're looking for. We do require development plus a production commit, and then obviously we look for the customer to fund NRE, like it to be strategically aligned within the space environment or aerospace environment. This gives you a list, which is interesting, of past developments that we have. Many are still in production, so you can see quite a lot of RT custom experience, and then also some other navigation and aerospace applications. Okay, so that's what we've got that we offer today. And it's what is very near term, coming out either in qual or coming up very shortly. But I also wanted to give you a little sneak peek of what's next. We're continually expanding our product line in the area of space. We take inputs from you, customers like you, to understand what the needs are out there. What the common problem areas are where it would be great to have an integrated solution. So there's a couple products that are currently in development, and they're related to power monitoring, power management. One is the LX7712, which is a latchable current limiter, also a fold-back current limiter configuration too. So this is in design. We anticipate to have prototypes, within the next 9 to 12 months. It offers an internal 5-amp PMOS switch and diode, rated to 120 volts. You can see some of the key features here. It's offered in a 48 lead package. We actually have run a test chip on this device and evaluated it, so we're a little far down the development path. And then also we have in design what we call the LX7714, which is a radiation-tolerant satellite bus power controller, or more commonly can be referred to as a resettable fuse plus relay. So that's a 4-channel, so 4 fuses, 4 relays in each IC. You can see that it's got the switch and the fuse, hiccup mode, current sharing when paralleled. Anyway, you can read through the different features of this, and my intent in this, and again, we should have prototypes on this within about 12 to 18 months. So my intent is to show you that we're constantly feeding new products in to expand our solutions to our customers. We also love to get a lot of interaction early on with our customers, so like to come out to you, to the community, and get feedback on how to define the next standard products, features that you'd like to see, that you see maybe are lacking, and have that two-way exchange very early on. So would encourage those kind of conversations if you're interested to do that. Okay, so in summary, we've got a lot of things coming out, a lot of new products, a lot of things available now. I'll keep you posted on new tools that we develop for those products. Again, custom, we'd like to offer our custom capabilities, as well as engage in early dialogue with our customers to get new developments going. So I will wrap up now, and my contact information is here.